Hello guys, welcome to my page. My name is Nurse Christy. So in this video, I'll be talking about a particular topic that was requested from a friend. So the video is about how to calculate your menstrual cycle. I know this topic will definitely be beneficial to everybody, both men and women. So let's pay more attention and get the small information from this video. Now, I know so many people find it very difficult trying to calculate the length of their menstrual cycle. Some find it very confusing, especially for the month of February that has the shortest month to the next month of March. Most times, periods are always fluctuating at that point in time. But today, I'll explain to you people that there's no fluctuation unless you have any health condition that it is normal. So today, I'll teach you on how to calculate the length of your cycle without using those apps that we have been using like Flow and all of them, but rather with a calendar. Calendar is much more easier to use, although there are other ways at which you can calculate your menstrual cycle, your length of menstrual cycle, but calendar is the easiest way. So before I dive into on how to calculate your length of your menstrual cycle, I'll have to tell you first what menstrual cycle is, the importance of menstrual cycle, and then on how to calculate it later on. Now let's move into what menstrual cycle is. I know all of us we have been hearing menstrual cycle, menstrual cycle, but today don't worry, I'll break it down for all of you. Menstrual cycle is just like a series of natural changes that we have in our body as a woman. It occurs every month, and these changes prepares us for pregnancy. And because it prepares us for pregnancy, there are two hormones that are involved, and they are the ones that controls these natural changes. They are the estrogen and progesterone. So these two hormones controls it. Now, menstrual cycle is meant to happen for 28, that's the average is 28 days, but it has a range which is from 21 to 35 days. Although some people see their own 22, 23, all of us before within that same range. But if we start seeing it like 19, 15, because there are some people that used to sit around that time. So I used to collect some histories in my place of work. So I know people who see 19, 20, 18, 16, even 40, 38, 39. So in such cases, this is where you have to go to the hospital to know what is wrong with you. Now, back to the importance of knowing your menstrual cycle. It is very, very important to our lives. I have 5 in my plate that I want to tell you why it is important for us to know your length of a menstrual cycle. Number 1 is that it helps in contraception and family planning, in the sense that it will help us to know when we are in our most fertile time for us to meet with our husband, for those that are looking for child that are married, and then for those that are not married, it helps to prevent unwanted pregnancies and prepares us, because during that time our body is open for anything, including infection and pregnancy. So it helps us to know when to engage in sexual activities. Now the second one is that it helps us to monitor our health. Menstrual irregularities has always been one of the symptoms that we face when it comes to reproductive health conditions. For example, in cases of PCOS, hormonal imbalances, menstrual irregularities are one of the symptoms. So menstrual irregularities now help us to monitor our health and know when to go and see the doctors. Now, number 3 in my plate is that it helps us to manage what we call premenstrual syndrome. Every woman faces it every month because it presents with fatigue, bloated stomach, you eating a lot, for me, and most importantly, mood swing. Although I don't used to have mood swings. So these are the symptoms it presents with. So us knowing our menstrual cycle will help us to prepare ourselves for those times and manage those syndrome that comes at that point in time. Now, number 4 on the plate is that it helps us also to manage our emotional well-being. Remember, these hormones that I mentioned, estrogen and progesterone, when they are controlling those natural changes that we face as a woman, it disturbs our mood. It brings about mood change at that point in time. So that means it's affecting our emotional, mental well-being, I meant to say. So it will help us to get prepared for it and then manage ourselves during that time. Then the 5th one on the plate is to prevent surprises. Most of us, when going on the road, we found out that they are stained, or maybe they feel like something is coming out. So they'll be like, oh, I did not come out with my pad. Or for those that have cramps, they'll be crying, I did not come out with my pills. So to prevent all those things from happening, the embarrassment of the blood staining on your clothes, or you having menstrual cramps on the road for those that their own are too severe. So it's knowing your length of the menstrual cycle can help you to prevent that, and also prepare you for that time, for the period of that time, so that you go with your necessary product like your pad, your undies, and even your pills for those that have cramps. Now, on how to calculate the length of your menstrual cycle, I need you to take note of this thing I'm about to say. It is very important because that's what you will use in calculating it. And I want you to mark this thing I'm saying, especially in your calendar, because it will help you to calculate it well. Mark the first day of your period, and then mark the day before your next period. The day before your next period. Mark the first day of your period, and the next one you mark the day before your next period. Take for example, today's date is 22nd, right? And now you saw your period today. The day I expect you to mark when you're calculating the length of your cycle is yesterday, being 21st of September. That's when I want you to mark, because that's how you calculate it. So the amount of days you saw your period does not matter, whether you saw it 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days. It doesn't matter in this time around. These two places are the ones that matters, because the remaining days is the days of your menstrual cycle. Is the length of days of your menstrual cycle, I meant to say. So if you count it, the amount from that first day you saw your period and the day before your next period, that is the length of your menstrual cycle. But definitely I'll still be showing you guys on how to calculate it using a calendar method, just like I said before. Stay tuned to look at it. Let's start with August. Remember I said you should mark the first day of your period. Let's say the first day of your period is 4th, right? Let's say it's 4th, and then eventually you saw your period on, let's say 29th. No, let's use 30. You saw your period on the 30. Now the day you have to mark is 29, because that is the day before the next day you saw your period. Now remember I said the amount of days you saw your period does not matter, right? It doesn't matter at all, whether you saw it 2 days, 3 days, 6 days, or 7 days. It doesn't matter. What matters is these days here. All of these remaining days is the number of days we need to calculate the length of your menstrual cycle. Now since we've marked 4 and 30, let's start counting. The 4th will be your number 1, number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Here is where you will stop, because if you start counting here, 30th means that we have entered another cycle. You understand? So if you're counting for another cycle, you start here as your number 1 again for another cycle, and not this one. Now we have calculated this thing like this. Now on counting, you notice that the person that saw her period on 4th and then saw the next one on 30th is having 26 cycle. The person is having what we call 26 cycle. If I thought the person saw it on 31st and this 30 is added, it's now 27 cycle. If the person saw it here, is 21 cycle. If the person saw it here, if the person saw it on 24th, is 20 cycle. If the person saw it on 21, is 21. 24th is 21 cycle. If the person saw it on 27th, is 23 cycle. 29 is 25 cycle. 30 is 26 cycle. Just like that, you continue going. Now let's say you've seen it again, because sometimes people used to be like, how come I'm seeing my period the same day in August? I saw it on 4th of August. Now I'm seeing it again on that same month of August. It is because your cycle is 26 or 27 or 28 for those that 27, that for those that saw it on 31st. So it's nothing to panic about. It's normal. It's just your cycle. Then let's say now the person has seen another one on 30th, and you calculate one to the next month, which is August. Sorry, which is September that we have entered, and you now see it another month like that. You'll be calculating it same thing with that of October. At least from now they have known how to calculate the August one. Then from your September, let's say you saw on 18th of September, so you know where you will start calculating till the next of October. Then you should know when you are expecting your period to come out in October. Hence the reason why I used August to give a sample, so that you calculate for September to move to October. So that's it on how to calculate the length of your cycle. And yeah guys, this is how you calculate the length of your cycle. As you can see, it's cheap, right? What you just need is just to, as long as you have calendar in your house, just get a pen or a pencil and mark it on your calendar. That is just what you need to do. That is just it. It is not a hard mathematics. It's so simple as like that. Just that some people are not being taught the way that they understand it. That's why they don't know how to calculate their menstrual cycle. So that's just it. I know I did not confuse you people. I try as much as I can to break it down in a way that you guys will understand. So stay tuned for my next topic. In my next topic, I'll be teaching you guys on how to know your ovulation time, to know your most fertile time. So stay tuned, follow, share, and like. Bye bye.